Welcome to Last Station. My name is Zen, your host for this series. In this series, we'll be looking at getting ready for the last station of life, which is death. Death is a topic that many people would choose to avoid, let alone to plan for it. But the need to plan for death is real. In 4 episodes, we'll be looking at how we can now prepare our loved ones to strive even after we are gone. In this first episode, we will be taking a deeper dive onto the purpose of estate planning. What comes to mind when you hear about estate planning? I am too young to start planning. I have nothing to pass on. I'm not rich. Do you have the same idea about estate planning? In this video, we will rectify the misperception and offer you a different perspective about estate planning.
Hey Charles.
Hey, hi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, nowadays it's so difficult to reach you. What are you busy with?
Yeah, I mean, been busy with work, and then actually something very sad just happened. I have a very close colleague of mine just passed on. I just attended his funeral, and Monday, he as per normal, we used to work, and then on Monday he just didn't turn up to work. Yeah, and then I realized he passed away during the sleep. So that really got me very hard, thinking very hard. Right, what should we do? And in terms of our estate planning,
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about your friend, but I mean, what's there to plan? Death is the end of everything, right?
Yeah, so it's end of everything, but to us, we just live, touch wood, one day. The more important thing is what's going to happen to our loved ones, right? For example, I got 3 young kids and parent, who is going to take care of, all the wealth that I leave behind, and how is it going to be managed? I can't expect my parents to help to manage the money that I left over for my 3 children as well. Yeah.
But isn't there the Interstate Succession Act that will distribute all these assets? Then that will settle everything.
Yeah, so Interstate Succession Act is just about distributing of wealth to your family members. But like I mentioned earlier, my kids being so young, they wouldn't have the ability to manage their wealth. Yeah.
Also, there's a need to appoint for like a guardian and also probably parent care.
Yeah, you need a guardian for that. So if you look at estate planning, is more than just will. Like I mentioned earlier, it's really about how the wealth is going to be taken care of when you passed on, and you need someone to be able to manage the wealth for them, and their parents as well. For example, I started work 20 years ago. I actually bought a lot of insurance policy for my friend, which today I'm really not sure whether they are useful at all. And that time I bought also really to support all these friends. Yeah, so if you ask me to think back, I should have written a will. And I think that would be more useful in the sense that at least, if anything happened to me, the payout would be well distributed to my parents. And at least at the back of my mind, I know that they'll be well taken care of. So 10 years ago, when I just got married, me and my wife, we immediately go and buy a house and a car. And thinking back, right, if really something happened to me during in the span of these 10 years, she alone won't be able to afford the mortgage for the house and even pay the loan for the car. So fortunately, nothing happened to us. If I had then decided to prepare a will, I would have spoken to a financial advisor, and then I would have realized that there's this gap that we need to fill. Right? But fortunately, we are both safe and sound, so we are perfectly fine. So if you look at kids nowadays, they've got all the different, so many needs and requirements, tuition, enrichment classes. So the whole concern is really about when one of the parents were to pass on, can they continue this? And also not to mention if both are gone at the same time, touch wood, right? Then how are they going to continue to have the needs of all these education requirements, etc. With trust, you'll be able to make sure that is taken care of. If something happened to both of us.
So now I see why you say estate planning is not just relevant after death, but how do you get started? Because I haven't do my estate planning yet.
Yeah. So recently I engaged an advisor to help me to manage that. What he did is he actually helped me plan, my finances all the way until retirement, and he uses a few areas to help to make sure that is being achieved. So he used investment, insurance, and estate planning to make sure if anything happens to both of us, they are all well taken care of.
Yeah, I should probably start getting an advisor to go through all this with me too. By the way, do you know what is Advanced Care Plan and Medical Directive? Because I heard these two terms somewhere, but I'm not too sure what it is.
Yeah, so Advanced Care Plan and Advanced Medical Directive, in short AMD, kind of come hand in hand together. So in Advanced Care Plan, we will talk to an individual to understand the needs and their requirement on how they want to have treatment taken care for them. And then AMD is, they put all these need for treatment into a legal document. So for example, if let's say someone needs to be on life support system, we can say, do you want to continue your life using that or not? And if he decided not to, then that can be put into an AMD, and the doctor will execute according to his wishes.
Oh yeah. I saw those kind of medical decision in some kind of drama, right? But that is also part of estate planning.
Yeah, it is, because can you imagine if let's say something happened to me and they need to make a decision that whether I need to continue my life on a life support system, it will be very stressful for them. So I'm already in the hospital, not well, they are really stressed, and to decide whether they want to, doctor should continue my life, that's a double stress for them. So in estate planning, I can actually put in all these wishes of mine to say, in the event something is beyond, beyond treatment, then I will not want to continue my life. So they can base on my wishes and allow the doctor to execute accordingly.
Well, you're right, because I'm currently single, then my mom is still quite old, so I don't think I want her to go through all the stress at her age if there's anything that were to happen to me. Yeah, so I probably need to start getting my advanced care plan now too.
Yeah.
So how often should one do estate planning?
Yeah, you should do it once every few years, or when there's a change in family nucleus. So for example, if you have newborn, or if your parents pass away. And there's another aspect to look at as well, which is the lasting power of attorney, so LPA. So for example, if let's say something happened to me, then and I don't have the mental capacity to make any decision, then who can help me make that decision? Right? So for example, if let's say I'm in the hospital, in a coma, and then my wife need to use money in my bank or in my CPF to withdraw for my medical bills, right? So with the LPA, then she will be able to help me to make that decision, to allow me to do so lah.
Now that you mentioned, estate planning is really very important, and I should have done it long ago. And this is really a whole new understanding for me. So what happens if one passes on without a will?
Yeah, so let's talk about what happened when there's a will first, right? So what happened is the executor will apply for a grant of probate, then he will then be able to have access to the asset. The asset will then be first used to pay off all the liabilities, and whatever that's remaining will be distributed to whatever the person wishes to have all the succession, right? And then the difference between not having the will is they will rely on the Interstate Succession Act, right, which may not be so ideal, because at the end of the day, the distribution might not be the way you wishes for.
I see. So I should start getting my estate planning done, because like for me, if anything were to happen to me, my $1 million insurance payout will be quite meaningless for my mother. I don't think she will use the money upfront or the lump sum, but probably I will set up a trust and give her like periodic payment so that I don't have to worry for her.
Yeah.
Hey Charles, thanks for sharing today. It really changed my perception on estate planning and its importance.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Welcome back. Is the scenario familiar? Someone passes away without planning and leaving the family members to worry about the financial resources. And in some cases, leaving the kids without any caretakers. Wherever we do, we want to fulfill a certain purpose. Similar for estate planning, we need to be clear on its purpose. Common to most people, they identify a will as an estate plan, and it is all about distributing assets. This view is insufficient. I see the purpose of setting out an estate plan is to protect our loved ones from financial hardship, emotional stress, and mental stress when something happens to me. As the Chinese says, the life stages are birth, age, sickness, death. We will all die one day, be it due to sickness or old age. And since death and sickness cannot be avoided, shouldn't we prepare to cushion our loved ones from pain? This is the purpose of estate planning that I want to share with you, to protect our loved one from pain. If you agree you need to protect your loved one, you should start your estate planning as soon as you are able to. This is the enhanced care model. The enhanced care model depicts the life stages and the necessary planning that should be in place to protect our loved ones as our health conditions deteriorate. When we start to work, receiving our first paycheck, and start paying our own expenses, we feel empowered, and we would like to buy more favorite items, patronize our favorite handouts. At the same time, our parents will start to age. Their work pace will slow down as they prepare for retirement. In most cases, their income stops when they stop active employment. We should ask ourselves, how can we protect our parents when we pass away suddenly? One way is to prepare your first will. You can repay your parents with your insurance payout. With sound planning, the lump sum insurance payout could potentially generate regular cash flow for the parents in their retirement years. As one settles down and starts a family, the new couples will start to own assets such as properties, cars, joint saving accounts. At the same time, they will also incur liabilities such as a mortgage loan, car loan, renovation loan. We should ask ourselves how we can protect ourselves from setbacks. Should one partner lose the ability to care for himself or herself? This would also mean the loss of income. One way is to conduct regular financial review. A financial review will surface potential pitfalls. For example, during a financial review, the couple discover that should one of them loses the ability to work and the income stops, the single income is not able to cover the monthly mortgages, car loan, and renovation loan. This couple can then discuss possible solutions such as buying a mortgage insurance, term insurance, that will provide a lump sum to cover immediate financial obligation. On top of a financial review, the couple should also review their will, as they each have a new family member now. Then, here comes the children. As the family grows, so does the expenditures. Enrichment courses, tuitions, swimming classes are the usual feature of a family budget. All these are good in developing the child now. However, more planning is needed to protect a child. Every parent will agree that a child should have access to the basic needs such as food, lodging, education. Therefore, the parents should also have a plan in place to address the basic needs of the child should the family cease to have income due to the passing of the parents. There are a few options to generate funds. The parents can consider putting aside a sum of money on a regular basis for their children. For example, the parents can start a regular saving plan for each of their child. This regular saving plan could be used for long-term investment and subsequently used to pay for the overseas education. The other option is for the parents to buy term insurance for the duration until the child is independent. For example, the child is 3 years old now, and assuming he or she will be independent at 23 years old. It is estimated that the child will need $500,000 for tuition, medical insurance, and allowance. In this case, the parents can buy a 20-year term insurance of 500,000 coverage to provide for the child when something happens to them. The parents can also go one step further by setting out a testamentary trust in their will. This is an instruction to the executor to set out a trust with the insurance payout. The idea is for the trust to generate regular cash flow to cover the children's expenses. There is also a living trust that is commonly used to generate income for special needs. The parents will fund the trust on a regular basis, and the trust manager will manage the trust to generate payout and cover the expenses of the special needs child. This arrangement will continue after both parents' passing. Likewise, a trust can be used to generate payout for the elderly. In the earlier stages of life, we saw how one can protect their loved ones through proper financial planning and indicate their decision in a will. At the next stage of life, most will have a stable income and they seek to grow their asset and plan for retirement. Possible disruption caused by income loss due to death and permanent disability are likely addressed at earlier life stages. At this juncture, most people should start to discuss about their advanced care plan and advanced medical directive. Should an unexpected medical crisis happen to you, your loved ones may be asked by the doctors to make difficult decisions on your behalf. This can be very stressful, especially when they must make guesses about the type of care you would like to receive. Your doctors and loved ones will not know your preference unless you tell them. With advanced care planning, you can discuss these matters in advance. What is advanced care planning? Advanced care planning is a series of discussions to plan for your future health and personal care. It involves sharing personal values and beliefs, exploring what you might or may not want in a certain medical situation, and choosing someone to voice your wishes if you can no longer do so in the future. You should then write down your wishes in an advanced care plan and share it with your family. Some questions to kickstart your advanced care planning. What living well means to you? What makes each day meaningful? What gives you life purpose? How do you wish to associate your lifestyle with? Is it about eating your favorite food, being involved in a sport and hobby, being able to volunteer your time and help others? What about the most important aspects of your well-being? Is it being able to walk and move around unaided? Being to feed and dress yourself? Or being able to talk to and be close to your loved ones? What are your greatest fear and worry about having a serious illness? Is it about financial burden, no one to care for you, causing family to worry or be in pain? These are the few useful reflection pointers. An advanced medical directive is a legal document that you sign in advance to inform the doctor treating you that you do not want any extraordinary life-sustaining treatment to be used to prolong your life. Making an advanced medical directive is a voluntary decision. It is entirely up to you whether you wish to make one. In fact, it is a criminal offense for any person to force you to make one against your will. Anyone who is aged 21 years old and above and is not mentally disordered can make an advanced medical directive. Both advanced care plan and advanced medical directive are part of your estate plan. Some of you might be asking, how are the advanced care plan and advanced medical directive part of estate planning? Recall the purpose of an estate plan. It is to protect our loved one from financial hardship and emotional stress. And both the advanced care plan and advanced medical directive will help to reduce the emotional stress laid upon the family. For example, there is this guy named Jay. He is terminally ill and has a few months to live. He is aware that his health condition will deteriorate quickly as time goes by. At a certain stage, he will lose his mobility and be confined to bed. Jay loves to be around people and talk to them. During his advanced care plan review, he indicated his wish to receive palliative care at home, to stay close with his family. Dying is a transition and it takes time. As Jay received his palliative care from a specialized medical team, his family will still need to care for him 24/7. Over time, his family members will feel physically and mentally strained as they witness how his health deteriorates. In this example, Jay did his advanced care planning and discussed his wishes with his family. The advanced care planning prepares Jay and his family in a few ways. Through the discussion, the family can better accept Jay's decision as they understand Jay wants to stay close with his family. The family also anticipate the demand of caring for Jay and therefore seek support for caretakers. One example is to arrange for qualified caretakers to look after Jay once a week as the family takes a rest. I hope you can see how the advanced care plan and advanced medical directive can help you and your family. When one passes away, the executor will exercise his duty. He will submit the application for the grant of probate before proceeding to distribute the asset in accordance to the will. The loans will be repaid and the remaining assets will be distributed. Instruction on trust and gifts will also be executed. A testator can give a portion of his asset to his friend or a specific family member. The gifts can be a lump sum, like cash, or a physical object, such as watches and jewelry. Testamentary trust will also kick into effect. The trust can be funded with cash. It can also be comprised of objects with intrinsic value. For example, a collector can instruct in his will to set up a trust with his valuable artwork. The aim is to generate cash flow with the artwork, which in turn be donated to the charity. In this video, we examined the purpose of estate planning and took a closer look at the component. It is never too early to start planning, but there is possibility of too late to plan. It is too late when one loses mental capacity to make a decision. So do start your estate planning now. In the next video, we will examine what and how parents can prepare for their special needs kids as the parents advance in age. Thank you and see you.